Time now for the markets with Leighton, and you say there's some price action in the beef sector today?
That's right, Artis. DTN analysts are even saying the bullish momentum of this week is expected to continue. Other stories making the headlines this week in the markets: better exports provide support to the wheat market. Large supplies hinder soybean prices as U.S. catfish prices remain up from 1 year ago. The wheat market has rallied since the start of October. The Financial Times Online reports that prices are up almost 7%. Bloomberg analysts think the support is due to concerns that adverse weather may hurt wheat crops in South America and Australia. As we record this segment, though, wheat futures are lower after a relatively weak showing in the latest export sales report. Large supplies continue to prevent much in the way of any gains for the soybean market. Arkansas Farm Bureau analysts are even saying soybeans remain likely to close below $9 before the end of the year. Trader John Roach seems to agree a trend lower may be in the works.
The market has slid down with all the negative news, and even the bigger yield estimates that we saw this week, they really didn't have much of an impact on the price. So the market's adjusted to these big crops, and now we're just waiting to see, okay, how does this harvest process go? And as we go through the harvest period, we think that the users will step up and clean up all of the available supplies. I think the market's really trying to find the bottom, and whether we found the bottom now or we've got to muddy around here for a while longer and find the bottom a little bit later, we'll see.
The cotton market, meanwhile, got a little help from this week's stronger stock market activity. However, on Thursday morning, futures fell to sharp losses after the USDA reported lower than expected U.S. cotton export sales. Analyst Elaine Cubb still thinks China's recent import announcement at the end of last month was the first of several bearish indicators for cotton.
They limited their import quota. You know, they have a policy of really trying to direct what their own growers, their own ag producers grow, and they want them to be growing corn, they want them to be growing cotton, so they will do whatever is friendly to keep American cotton or just, you know, any sort of exported cotton out of their market. And the harvest is doing well, the condition ratings are holding stable, so there's not really a very much bullish you can say about cotton. The dollar keeps going up, softs get hit very hard when that happens. Yeah, I don't necessarily think that the lows are in on cotton yet.
Our trivia quiz pertains to some wildlife this week. Here's the question: what is the name for a group of possums? Which of these four choices do you think is the answer? A, pack, B, litter, C, a passel, and D, bevy. I'll tell you at the end of the markets. We turn to livestock now in the markets. As we record on Thursday, John Harrington of DTN was forecasting a sharply higher open for the cattle complex. Trader Ted Seifried says support is coming from recovery in the wholesale trade, but he warns it's always good to remember risk management, even in the good times.
So you have to be looking at the idea of protecting your downside now at this point also. Embrace the bullishness, embrace the bullish looking chart, but also kind of keep an eye on your risk management as well, because this is something that, you know, we could see a significant pullback here at some point.
Aquaculture is the focus of our market interview. Extension ag economist John Michael Riley joined me on Thursday to discuss recent developments in the catfish market. John Michael, how are pond bank catfish prices running right now?
Well, they've steadied off from the wild times of the past couple of years. Of course, wild is a little bit relative compared to other commodities. Obviously, not nearly as or less volatile than other commodities. But we did see a rapid growth in prices in 2011, and then seemed to come crashing down in 12. And in 13 and 14, they really steadied off. In fact, for the past number of months, we've been averaging about $1.20 at the processor level, which is really what the growers do get. So right there in that above $1, which is really good for producers of the catfish.
Are the processors able to sell the fish at these prices? Is that improved? How has that changed in recent months?
Well, I think that's the news going forward is demand, because we have seen the hemorrhaging has seemed to subside with our growers cutting back in terms of overall production. We still saw an 8% reduction in inventory levels as of January 1 of fish being sold, or inventories at the processor level. So really, I think the story moving forward is demand. We've seen the economy improve over in 2014. 2014 and projections that will continue. So anytime you see robustness in the economy, that definitely helps consumers' pocketbooks, and obviously that helps with catfish demand.
And compared to past times, processors, I believe, are running maybe fewer shifts, fewer hours right now as far as the
Right. As a
volume.
result of the lower inventories, lower volume of fish coming out of the ponds, then yes, we have seen some reductions in schedules.
All right. Of course, we've seen a lot of change in the grain prices and soybeans. Is that having any impact, since obviously those are ingredients in catfish feed?
Well, obviously we're down from 2012. That was the high water mark for feed prices, but largely we're tracking fairly close to 2013. We did see a reduction in feed prices, 28 and 32% feed prices during the middle of the summer, but those have popped back up a little bit, largely due to the fact that you're talking about a processed product. So soybeans prices are down, but you're still having to process that product, and you are adding a little bit of value to it, and those processors are wanting to get a little piece of the pie there. So they're running roughly equal to 2013.
Before our feature story, let's check the trivia answer for this week. The correct choice is C. When you've got more than one or two possums, you've got a passel.